Hello, hello. Dear Lykke Coinholders, welcome to our first annual meeting. Thanks for your belief and support. I'm Lena Michenkova, Lykke Communications, and let me introduce our speakers today. Richard Olsen, Lykke founder and CEO.
Thank you, Lena. So,
Sergey, hello.
Hello.
Sergey Ivleev, Lykke co-founder and chief operations officer.
Hi, everybody.
Misha Nikulin, Lykke co-founder and CTO.
Hi, everyone.
Good. So these are the guys who will give you an overview for the past year and share some future steps. And then we will have to answer your questions. Please meet the Lykke team members that will help us with that. Thomas Bierer, Finance.
Hi, everyone.
Dimitri Zamboglu, Business Development.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Lena. Hi, guys.
Donahue with us, Lykke Singapore. We hope coming. Lykke USA. Hi, Mike.
Hello, everyone.
We begin, and I invite Richard Olsen to start.
Welcome, Coinholders. It's such an honor.
Richard, will you please?
It's such an honor to have you on board. Let me briefly just review what we have been doing over the last year. We started literally in 2016 from scratch, zero. We had a team based on the competition that we had announced in the previous October. And our plan was to build a global marketplace on blockchain. Now, what initially looked like just a vague plan turned out to be, on the one hand, much more difficult, but on the other hand, thanks to the people from very different places, we could actually make it. So in May, we had our first wallet, and then over time, we rapidly expanded our efforts, and today have an exchange that has several thousand users, and we transact $4 million of transaction volume every day. What is our plan? Our plan is to build a global marketplace for all asset classes, all instruments, fully regulated. We today have a team of 80 people, and I'm incredibly proud to say that in my long career, it's the first time that I've really been spoiled that much of really getting exceptional people to help us realize the vision. Now, we have all seen it. The coin price, which started off in our first ICO, which we did in October of last year for $1 million at 5 cents, has rapidly increased to 30 and more cents. So we today have a market value, if you take all the coins that are included, of over $450 million. This is a huge value, which represents the potential of what Lykke can do. We're all aware that a lot of work has to be done, and incredibly grateful for the many people who are contributing to that effort. And later on, they're open to answer questions. Now, the issue which we have is this project just a project which initially was kind of inspired by my experience in financial markets and what has to be improved? Or is it an effort which should empower people who work at Lykke, but also your community of people who use our platform and services to implement your ideas and dreams? So clearly Lykke is an emergent company which is modeled according to the functions and how plants and organisms work of a decentralized organization. It's a platform for individuals to realize their dreams. And my biggest ambition is that you coin holders, but also everyone who participates in Lykke and contributes, to use Lykke as an avenue to implement what you think is valuable. So thank you very much. And let us hear what Sergey wants to contribute. Thanks.
Hello, dear stakeholders. I would like to share you the recent operation metrics that we combined together. And actually, we shared some of the metrics in our annual report, but the things are changing so fast that we also added the metrics also at the end of June. So this is our accounts opened on the platform. We reported by the end of May, it was around 11.4 thousand of total users on the platform, but it was almost doubled. So today is more than 20,000, and this number should continue to grow in a very rapid pace. We track the users which are active on the platform. So if you look at the those who traded in April, around 900, it has doubled in May, and it's already doubled in June. So we're looking forward to this progress. People are really starting to adopt the wallet, use it for cryptocurrency trading and Lykke coins trading and FX. The daily volume actually has tripled. In May, it was around 400 on average. And in June, we already have 1.6 million. And this is also set to grow. If you look at the metrics that we actually also reported in the annual report, the cash and asset liability management overview, in millions Swiss francs by the end of May, we had around 5 million in cash plus 1 million cryptocurrencies, and with a net liquidity of around 5 million. And today it's already like around 9 million cash, 6 million market value of the cryptocurrencies in our inventory, and net liquidity of 7.3 million. There is some progress that we want to sneak peek. So tomorrow we're going to launch the margin trading. It's going to be on the mobile and in the demo mode first for most of the countries, but we slowly will increase the coverage across the globe by getting the regulatory wrappers in various jurisdictions. The Lykke card is set to be delivered by the fall of this year. It's going to be a really convenient tool where you can just exchange your tokens or lend your tokens and get your credit on the card and use it in conventional stores where the Visa is accepted. And the Lykke payment networks are coming soon. So the POS terminals, which is connected to the blockchain, and which you can already, we will have a prototype in early July, so people will be able to pay in Lykke coins in the point of sales and get the cash withdrawals in the ATM machines. So this is our roadmap that we somehow try to put the check marks. So off-chain settlement and Ethereum integration is now delivered. The margin trading is coming tomorrow, with the web terminal coming a bit later. Then the security lending feature is going to be enabled, and we'll develop a payment system networks, which will allow us, based on the off-chain technology, really make a cheap and fast payments, but with the same level of security as the blockchain is. So really looking forward to implement all of this and get all the Lykke coins having much more value that they have now. So now I pass on to Misha, who will comment on the technical side. And this.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let me share with you some technical details on what we've been doing during the past 1 year. Actually, the way we are building the Lykke exchange is we are building both an exchange and wallet in one single platform. And we are not just another crypto exchange. Lykke is a decentralized, semi-decentralized exchange, which means that orders are matched in a super fast centralized matching engine, but with settlement on the blockchain. So we believe this allows to build both efficient market with secure settlement. So until the May of this year, every transaction was settled on the Bitcoin blockchain as an atomic swap transaction, exchanging two assets between counterparties. And we've been troubling a lot of settlement issues caused by Bitcoin blockchain throughput limit. And at the end of May, we've launched the off-chain settlement based on the micropayment channel or state channel approach, which allows to mitigate the capacity limit. And I believe it's our major breakthrough, even though we have some trust to Lykke during the channel opening procedure. And we are waiting for the end of July, when I hope the segregated witness will be finally adopted to make the off-chain settlement completely trustless. There are a lot of questions regarding limit orders. So the off-chain settlement will now allow us to provide trading with limit orders. Let me explain how it works. So each transaction must be signed on your smartphone. But limit orders assumes the pending execution even if your smartphone is offline. So actually it requires providing collateral, and the off-chain settlement allows to send the collateral to the exchange fast and secure without hitting the blockchain. So limit orders is our first priority now. The next point I'd like to share with you the way how we integrated Ethereum. It's important to say that we are trying to apply the same trust model to the Ethereum as we have for Bitcoin. It means that all deposited Ethers are driven by the smart contract, but not by Lykke, and transaction or withdrawal is executed by smart contract, and must be signed with client signature. So currently we have the on-chain settlement for Ethereum transactions, and we are working on the off-chain settlement as we did it for Bitcoin. I should also mention that a lot of invisible work is doing on the background to make Lykke infrastructure scalable, sustainable, and secure. We automate every development process and structure our architecture in a way of tiny microservices. It's very important to avoid routine procedures, but to focus on business layer, security, and user experience. So regarding the security, it's our highest priority, and we started the security audit recently, and I hope more security features will be added soon. And we also plan to launch the security bug bounty program. And finally, I'd like to thank our team. It's really creative and talented people. So love you guys. It's really a joy to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Misha. Thank you, Sergey. Thank you, Richard. We would actually like to thank everyone for the questions you have sent via Telegram. There are lots of them. Some have already been covered by the speakers, as far as I could hear. We are going to answer the rest now. So please feel free to ask your questions now in the chat. We will try to cover as much as we can. Our meeting is scheduled for 1 hour, so that's the plan. But we promise to address the questions which are not answered now here during the meeting today in a blog post. We've got Michael Kleiner, who is at the airport at the moment, and he covers USA for us. And one of the most frequent questions coming via all the channels is when users from the United States will be able to go through the verification process. Michael.
Thank you, Lena. Well, that is an excellent question. Let me give it just a minute of background on the U.S. regulatory environment. In the U.S., we're fragmented. The key products are all regulated by different regulators. So as we go through and build our process and build like a vision in the U.S., we have to build not only a broker to handle the clients, we have to build an exchange to trade them. And each regulator has their own rules and responsibilities. So we're doing all of that. We've submitted applications with all the key regulators, and our approach is kind of like climbing a ladder. Each regulator has different rungs. So we start first at the first step, submit the application, get approval, which we expect to happen towards late fall. Then we submit another application, get higher level approvals to do more products, and on and on and on. So by the end of next year, we should be able to trade everything that Lykke offers. But as of right now, by the end of the fall, we should have limited ability to do equity ITOs, cryptocurrencies in certain states, and hopefully be able to do a little bit more along with partnering with other people in the short term to offer everything we offer. So I guess the short-term answer is we're going to start in the fall as soon as the regulators give us the first round of approvals, but it's only going to grow from there. So by the end of next year, we'll have a bank, we'll have a broker, we'll have a CFTC futures and commodities broker, we'll have it all.
Okay, thank you so much, Mike. Then I guess we proceed with regulation and licenses, and we've got Dema here. So there was a question. Last year, Isle of Man added friendly licensing regulations for financial services. Where is this on your priorities for licenses?
Okay, so people need to understand that regulation is dynamic and we are prone to friendly regulation, but we believe that all regulators are friendly in a sense. If we have the right people who have the right skills and the right experience in the team, then the regulator is always happy to work with us. I will give you a brief update on what happened this week. On Monday, we submitted the answers in Lykke, Cyprus. It was the first response from the regulator. And today, we managed to submit our electronic money institution license to the Central Bank of Cyprus, which essentially, this is two of our companies. We're covering two of our companies. And the highlight of the day is that we had a very friendly call with the FCA, which is the Financial Contact Authority and the regulator in the UK. And they were really, really prone for us to apply, and they wished us a really, really good luck. So, no further ado, this week, we hope to be live with our offshore license, and we will be offering a regulated product to Africa and Asia. And we are not going to be only covering this area from the technology side, but it's also they're going to be also covered from the regulatory side. So we are following all the rules, all the regulations, and we have the team and the technology to back up all of our decisions. Thank you, Lina.
Okay, thank you, Dima. Now we've got a few questions, I guess, for Richard. The first one, which I would like to ask is, this is a question about the coin supply and the way it's calculated to give the valuation of approximately 500 million. It comes up often, so we need to address it.
So thank you very much.
Can you explain?
I'll try to explain. Lykke is a share company, and as a share company, you have a fixed share capital, which is fixed and reported in the official share registry. When we started off Lykke, we first raised seed money from the initial investors, which were angel investors. At the time, Lykke did have nothing, and as we started, we gave the initial shareholders coins based on the amount of money which they invested. In October last year, we had our first product, we had our trading wallet, and conducted our first ICO, and sold Lykke coins across the globe to people who wanted to invest. We did another round in February this year, and as we speak, people who download the wallet can buy Lykke coins. CoinMarketCap records all those coins which are held in the trading wallet, and on its capitalization, this number appears. Going forward, we will make sure that all the coins which have been issued also to the shareholders will be visible to CoinMarketCap. Now, we will combine this with issuing our coins on Ethereum. So that will be an important step forward, that we will not only be available on Bitcoin blockchain, but also on Ethereum. And important is that all the coins which are issued in the market reflect the amount of shares which are issued according to the share registry in Switzerland. So the coins cannot be increased beyond what is in the share registry. So now, us as a company, as holders of coins, it's in our interest not to dilute the value of coins. So the capitalization today is around in excess of 450 million. And this value, it's in the interest of everyone to increase this value and not undermine it by just issuing additional coins. Because if the value is high and stable, then we can use our coin as means of payment to pay people who contribute, and we inspire trust. So this is, from our point of view, how we will make sure that the value of coins remains consistent.
Thank you, Richard. There's another question. As we cannot set a certain price offer if we buy Lykke coins, we have to accept the price given by the platform. But how is this price determined by Lykke if there's no offering?
So key to any market is that there is short-term liquidity. That is, if anyone around the globe wants to sell his Lykke coins, that there is someone there to buy. So Lykke offers liquidity, and this is what you'll see in the orders which are visible on your wallet, is at the price is how much coins are available. And then there is an algorithm that is an automated way of how the price quotes, limit orders, which we keep in the market, are updated. This is purely algorithmic. And what is key is that the market is stable, because we don't want to, be in the situation of bidding the price up, but it's important to let the market dynamics play. So if 2 days ago a large order was put through and someone sold, the price drops dramatically. Or if people buy aggressively, the price goes up. But this is all done through algorithms.
Okay, thank you. I see some questions coming about the promises we're going to make. Sergey has also said that margin trading is coming tomorrow. There were questions about limit trading, box options in the app, web, desktop trading, improvement of exchange user interface, charts as example, candlesticks and things. Sergey, can you comment on that?
Yes, actually, it's as we have the roadmap, which is designed by the end of the year. So we, as I mentioned, the web trading terminal will come out quite soon after the release of the margin trading. It will be a web terminal for the margin trading engine. Then shortly we'll have the web terminal also for the spot exchange, so that we'll have the web terminal to manage the account and to be able to convert the assets in the spot regime. The API comes with that also, so it will be allowed to connect to the engine through the API, and after that a fixed protocol. It's in terms of the timelines, I estimate it's kind of the end of the third quarter should be appropriate deadline for this. That was also mentioned, the box options. It's a new product that we currently have in a sandbox, and this is a short-term financial instruments which are allowed to bet on the market's particular region, the price in the future. And we now have it on the demo regime on the App Store, but as soon as we get the regulatory approval, we'll launch it for some of the jurisdictions, probably also in quarter 3. So thanks, Lena.
Okay, here comes a question on the tech side, and Misha, could you please answer that? The question is if Lykke will support the upcoming changes on Bitcoin, BIP148, SegWit 2X, and what happens after August 1st with the BTCs in the Lykke wallet?
Yeah, actually, I mentioned that we are eager to have SegWit. So we are waiting for this, and personally, I was not so happy with having Bitcoin fork, hard fork. But anyway, Lykke would support both Bitcoin blockchain forks at the end of the day.
And then the other question. Shall Ethereum blockchain replace Coin framework for the Lykke exchange? Misha should mute the mic because he's in the same room. I will repeat the question. Shall Ethereum blockchain replace Scarlet Coin framework for Lykke exchange?
Oh, yeah, let me answer. Yeah. Actually, we don't want to replace Bitcoin to Ethereum, but we would like to support both. So we would like to have multiple tokens with multiple blockchains and even have multiple issuers to be able to convert any token, any kind of asset to another.
Okay, thank you. There was one question about marketing, and maybe I will cover that. When do you plan to increase your marketing efforts and show Lykke to the world? Or what is your marketing go-to-market strategy in place? In my opinion, the project is still very hidden in the market. When I joined the team, we had discussions with Richard, and we are on the same page. We should do it in a smooth way. When we have a product so new as we are, doing things which are so new as we are doing, we should be really very careful. And the first thing we need to have is the working platform and a secure platform and a service which is safe for the users. So we will be scaling with the number of, so in a sense, we will scale our marketing with the same speed we scale our platform and our services on the platform and the KYC processes and support. So if Richard, you would like to add anything to that, I will be happy.
Yes, so I mean, in the present world, so many people overpromise. And I think let's not overpromise. Let's convince with the product itself. And then leverage the small world effect, but then at the same time not be stupid in the sense that marketing is very valuable, but use this as a tactical tool. And what's key is for me is to make it a movement where people identify with what we have. And for that, we always have to surprise the user, surprise him with kind of features which he didn't expect. But this means we first have to do a lot of work. Thanks.
Thank you, Richard. I've got, I think, another question for you. The question was, what was the reason to place this company in Switzerland? Does it relate to the fact that FINMA has not authorized to place the company in Switzerland and have the account where clients send money in Liechtenstein? Does this relate to the fact that FINMA has not authorized you in Switzerland? Do you have some contact with them or a plan to be compliant with Swiss regulation?
So I have lived my whole life in Switzerland, more or less. So it was natural, just start the company in Switzerland. At the same time, I think Switzerland is kind of a model to some extent for the world at large. It has many different cultures, many different types of communities, and we all live together. And so I think this is a very positive asset. At the same time, Switzerland has a very stable legal framework, and FINMA will give us regulatory approval to a brokerage license, which we're currently in the process of submitting. So Switzerland is, in that sense, my natural base. And this is why I started off here. But what's key for me is that we have a global company, which at no place is kind of dominate. So a really company that spreads the world, and an entity in Singapore or America are as important as an entity anywhere else in the world. Now, that we today use a bank in Liechtenstein for customer payments, it's just that they were the first bank which was open to open accounts for companies such as us. So we're very grateful for Liechtenstein to kind of be there and that close. Thanks.
Sorry, I'm done. Then, Richard, I think the next question is also for you. How should the financial projections for Lykke be in the next 3 years? Could you cover that?
So a company such as Lykke, which we're investing a lot into expanding the business, building local entities, it's only our efforts are only as good as we have a positive report. So reporting and being profitable is essential for us. So we will make sure that we're consistently profitable, and just accumulating high profits is not priority, because we want to roll out product and strengthen the whole organization. So for the next 2 to 3 years, top priority is to be, in the black, to have very stable numbers, but it's no maximizing profitability. It's all about investing. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Then I've got a question to Sergey, I guess. Can you give more clarity on target segments for Lykke for 2017-2018, retail clients versus SME startups versus institutional clients?
Thanks, Lena. So actually, Lykke now starts as the retail, mostly a retail wallet. So we target really the normal people across the globe, and this allows us to really develop the features which are fast and reliable and scalable. And as we go, we add the corporate clients on board, which are willing to work with us. So we are already started to onboard some of the institutional clients to trade on the Lykke exchange. But as we go further and we get the regulatory approvals from the tier 1 jurisdictions, this will actually open up the world for the fully compliant to onboard institutional clients. And I think the volumes will be generated on this part of the market segment. So currently it's probably 99% retail. Then as we go, we add more institutions, and probably by 2018 going to be maybe 50-50. So we'll see.
Richard, I think the next two questions.
Happy to take them.
How is Lykke planning on distributing dividends? Specifically, how are they going to accomplish this technically? Where will the dividends be sent?
So yes, we'll definitely show you that we can send out dividends, and we will send them to the wallet addresses of the coin holders who hold the coins. So you'll be receiving dividends, and let's make a first dividend payment in a year when we have the next annual coin holders meeting.
Good. What are the Lykke's goals in relation to the existing stock market? For example, are you planning on onboarding some companies and guiding them through to issue shares for their company through colored coins on the Lykke platform, or is this not one of the goals of the platform?
I'm so glad that this question has been asked, because yes, of course, this is our goal. So we want to actually kind of build a very simple platform that anyone, any company around the world can list its shares on an exchange, and it should be as easy as making property available on Airbnb for rental. So we want to make it very easy for any company to list its shares, and Lykke itself will kind of list shares on behalf of other companies. So what do I mean? So for example, we can issue color coins of, for example, Google shares, and on the basis of our FINMA-based brokerage that we're setting up in Switzerland. So we hope that in a year's time, you have a large array of different stocks to be tradable. But I have to say, this is a lot of work. So the people in-house and also those who are helping have to fasten their seatbelts. Thanks.
Okay. Oops, something happened. Then I guess the second question I will address to Sergey. It's kind of continuation, but when would be the ICO platform launched? Also, how about cryptos like IOTA, Ripple, Lisk, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, and so on? Sergey, will you cover that?
Actually, yes, as Richard has mentioned, we really want to be the issuance platform, so to simplify the process of digitizing the assets. And to make it really simple, we plan to launch the ICO portal, or kind of token generation portal, where you can specify as much as possible the metadata of the token and issue it on an Ethereum smart contracts. We are working on the concept of this platform now, and hopefully by again end of Q3, the first version will be launched. And this is also related to our kind of regulatory regime. We really want to make this a fully compliant process, and most likely it's going to be an entity, an exchange in Singapore, which will be focused on the specifically on the token issuance and listing. And speaking about the cryptocurrencies and adding them to the platform, it's really our main kind of next big goal to add more crypto, add more blockchains. So we go it in a two-pronged approach. So at first we want to launch the color coins for the major cryptocurrencies to list them as soon as possible as the tokens on our exchange, and later on we'll extend our settlement layer to those blockchain to be able to really have the same principle of on-chain settlement realized on the Litecoin blockchain, on the Waves blockchain, on the Ripple blockchain, so that people can safely store the assets in their wallet and be able to exchange them, swap them to other assets on other blockchains without trusting to the exchange and having the custody risk on the exchange. So as we go, I mean, by the end of the year, we'll cover all the top cryptocurrencies that exist.
Thank you, Sergey. And then a question to Richard, I guess. I've seen a couple of questions about, and we actually start answering questions which come via YouTube channel. There were a couple of questions, how Lykke earns money. And there's one specific question, are there any projections from your side on how much of the whole income of Lykke will be from market making? Once limit orders will be active, there will be less market making by Lykke.
So thank you. So first of all, the core of Lykke's revenue will come from market making and offering investment products which also offer liquidity to the market, and where Lykke will earn its money as an investment manager from the performance fee. So limit orders have the effect that other market participants can provide directly liquidity. So in a sense, Lykke will compete with other market makers and private individuals who post limit orders. In our projections, we assume that we can capture from our side up to around 40% of the volume in terms of limit orders. We have, over the last 6-8 weeks, we have tried to build an elaborate model of trying to understand the financials of the whole company. And in that sense, we have done projections. And for the coming year, we're projecting a total revenue of 18 million. Roughly 8 million is from project income, and the remaining 12 million is market making income. So just to explain, the bulk will be increasingly from market making, where we compete with the other market participants. And the 8 million is from project income, where we make our open source technology available for example, large banks, large institutions. And that is part of our strategy project work, is to make other institutions embrace our technology and expand the ecosystem of the Lykke environment which we're building. Thanks.
Thank you, Richard. Then I've got a question to Sergey. I guess there were a number of questions about other exchanges. LKK will be added to Polonix and Kraken, expert advisor developer roadmap says. Could you also add Bittrex?
Yeah, actually, it's on a midterm roadmap that we plan to sort of non-inclusively trade also the Lykke coins and make it listed on the crypto exchanges. And we currently investigating the feasibility of this. I mean, technical feasibility and the legal feasibility. Because Lykke coins has on one side is a coin, but on the other side is the equity of the Swiss companies. So it might be also affecting the timeline of this. And Bittrex is, to my mind, is very like reputable exchange, which is competing for the flow for Kraken and Polonix as well. So we'll definitely consider this exchange as well.
Thank you, Sergey. Now, Dema is a question for you. Lykke credit card, eventual regulatory compliance in major markets, equates to a reputable bridge between crypto and fiat currencies for everyday spending. Is Lykke ahead of banks in a sense?
Thank you for this question, and thanks to the Lykke audience. When it comes to adding a new product in our Lykke platform, we always follow the rules and the regulation. As we know, we are also applying for an electronic money institution regulation, which is given from the central bank. In a way, we want to create an environment that our user will have as much less costs as possible. So I wouldn't say that we are ahead of the bankers. We are working with the bankers, but we have a vision that is a bit bigger. So if we avoid the middleman and avoid all these big costs that the banks are charging the clients, then our clients will be able to make more with much, much less costs. Thank you, Lina.
Thank you, Dema. I hope Misha will take the next question. Do you plan to use FIX protocol for equities and other asset classes, trading, execution?
Actually, yes, we have a fixed protocol in our pipeline, particularly for margin-based trading. And there are a lot of requests, some requests from institutions as well. So we're going to provide this, yes.
I'm trying to browse through the questions we've got on YouTube. Can you share with us how you envision the LKK capital structure or derivatives? Who will take this question? Sergey, will you, or will Richard? Can you share with us how you envision the LKK capital structure or derivatives?
Happy.
Oh, thank you.
Lena, happy to take it. So first of all, we have come out initially with Lykke coins. That's just the Lykke coins as such. In February, we issued a forward of the Lykke coin that's a 1-year forward. In our based customer feedback, I think this was a success. In the future, we'll hope to issue other forwards. That is, Lykke coins of a 2-year forward, but also a half-year forward and different maturities. What we want to have is that there'll be a whole yield curve of forwards. So that's on one side. The second thing, and this will be a true novelty, is we want to issue for local entities and special projects, special coins which relate to those projects. So in future, for example, there'll be a Lykke Singapore coin. That's for the business that is acquired in Singapore. And that will provide an avenue to take advantage and profit from local activities. And it's So going forward, I hope that with different projects that we can have project-related coins and provide whole ecosystems of reward and incentives for people who participate. So it's much richer capital structure than would be possible in the old world.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Here's a continuation for Sergey, I guess. What could be the negative impacts from adding LKK to other exchanges?
Well, that's a good question, actually. So, from the point of view of the kind of market price discovery, it's good to have the multiple competing exchanges, and because the orders may arrive from different participants to the venues they prefer to do it. So actually, there is no negative side of this. The one problem that potentially we may see is that all the crypto market is currently wild west. So there is not quite transparent how the price is discovered on some of the exchanges, and if the coin is added, let's say, it can be pumped and then dumped. So which is probably may not reflect the true value of the underlying project or team. So this is one concern that we have, that since the markets are not yet matured and not really, they are prone, they're subject to the manipulation as well. So I really we'll take it the baby steps, not to really to disrupt the value of the shareholders.
Thank you, Sergey. And there's a question to Misha. Is my whole wallet exposed to the counterparty risk of Lykke?
Thank you. Yeah, actually, the way how Lykke Exchange is designed is to provide to mitigate or to remove the custodian risk for Lykke. So it means that each transaction is signed on the client side by your mobile device, and Lykke is not able to withdraw somehow your money from the trading wallet. But the only trust you need to hold when you send an order to match your order correctly on a centralized matching engine. But all your holdings are safe in the multi-sig exchanges.
Okay, thank you. And then we've got our financial guy with us, Thomas Bührer, and I think the next question will be for him. Can we expect to receive quarterly financial and update reports going forward?
Thank you, Lina, for the question. I think this is a very good question, and we understand that our investors and Lykke Coinholders have a need for more information, and especially more timely information, and we are working on that in order to issue the future quarterly reports. Yes.
And then there's the next question. When does Lykke expect to break even? It might be for you, Thomas, and it might be for Richard as well.
Happy to take this question. Yes. So at least at this time, Lykke actually is profitable as we operate. So, but having said that, we have to kind of expand our base and solidify. So, as stated in my initial statement, I think it's essential for in the coming year for Lykke to basically break even and to write black numbers. But I'm not focusing on, kind of excess profits, because we'll be heavily investing into core infrastructure and building out the team. Thanks.
Thank you, Richard. There's another question I will address to Sergey. Somehow I overlooked it, and it's also connected to what he was talking about. If LKK traded on the other exchanges, price won't be subject to Lykke exchange liquidity bots. How will they react?
Thanks, Lina. Actually, yes. So Lykke, as you know, it has automatic liquidity provision algorithms which are quoting the assets across to all other assets. So we have a kind of a set of the robots which are setting the price and react to the order flow. And if those, like if let's say there is an asset like a solar coin, it's also tradable on the other exchanges, and there could be a potentially situation when there is an arbitrage opportunities and there is a kind of a price mismatch of the market maker in our exchange and the price on the other exchange. And this is a normal situation. So I mean, it's the market maker will just react to the order flow, which will come through this arbitrage from the other exchange, and will readjust the price, and the prices will actually converge.
Thank you, Sergey. I'm trying to look through the questions which we've got on YouTube, and there's another one for Dima, I think. I've looked at the webpage and discovered it is not available in my country. Will attempt to download the app now. Will you notify me of the result?
Thank you, Lina. Yes, of course, we notify all our clients of the results and over their applications if it has been successful or not. You need to understand that we are constantly updating the websites. And now with the new regulatory license we will get, all our websites will get the revamp. And but still, we welcome everybody to apply, and the capable compliance team will review each application. And if you're successful, you should be able to download the wallet and trade, exchange, and have fun.
Okay, thank you, Dima. What would the savings be for off-chain settlement compared to before per transaction? That is from Misha, I guess.
So the off-chain settlements assumes that not every transaction is settled on the blockchain, but only net of the transactions are settled. So this means that you have like a discrepancy between of what is available on your trading wallet and what is actually deposited on the Bitcoin blockchain. So this how the multi-signature address constructed. Part of the coins belongs to Lykke liquidity provider, and part of coins belongs to client. So and the balance of the Lykke and liquidity provider is signed in the so-called commitment transaction, which is off-chain.
And also adding to the from the cost perspective, in a sense, we monitor the cost of the on-chain settlement, and by the end of May, due to the kind of queues on the Bitcoin blockchain, and the fees were really increasing, and we end up paying of around 2 to 3 Bitcoins per day for the miners to settle the transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. And once we switched to the off-chain settlement and we opened the channels, it was some cost as well, but then the cost actually dropped probably a factor of 100. So it's now paying much less commission, but only when the channel is reopened or there's additional delivery to the channel from the capital. This requires the on-chain transaction. So it's probably, probably like 50 times less. Another actually side of it is that we have to, as a hub, we have to maintain the liquidity to stuff it to the client channels, and this requires some inventory that we held on our books. Actually, that's why also our cryptocurrency market value has increased, because we have to use, for example, around 1,000 of the Bitcoins to stuff it into the customer channels. And they're there dormant, but they just ensure there is no additional commission which is paid. So this is kind of a trade-off on the cost side, how fast you should reopen the channels and which is the inventory you have to maintain on your book.
But I guess the main benefit of using the off-chain is scaling Bitcoin and overcoming the Bitcoin blockchain limit capacity, throughput limit. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we are going to take the last 2 questions for today, and they are for Richard. How will the company governance evolve? Specifically, how will Richard partially delegate his currently dominant role in the long term?
For me, actually, the people who govern Lykke should be actually you as users. So this is how I want to delegate my kind of power, is that to empower the users of Lykke and make them the kind of the guiders for Lykke. So it's actually what you want is what Lykke has to fulfill and perform.
Okay, thank you, Richard. And the last one will be, as a shareholder, I want to know what Richard thinks is our most direct competition and what he thinks of that competition. What are his concerns going forward in terms of competition?
So we all see the many companies which are emerging in the space and also existing incumbents which are out there. So there is immense competition. I find what's very unique about Lykke is that we take a very long-term view of what it would be ideal for society and what makes the economic system most robust. And this is how we're building the companies. We build an exchange which is, kind of what we think is optimal for the economic system to work. And we perform that in a very unorthodox way, in the sense that everything is open source, open knowledge. And that's a strategy which is very different to how the financial industry works. So what are the benefits for us is we can really leverage the network effect. And because we're so open, we can have a kind of people who, out of their own motivation, contribute, will work with us. So this gives us a huge competitive edge against existing incumbents or many of the other companies who are just in there to make as much money as possible. So I'm not worried about competition. What I just want to raise and make clear for any investor who now says, Lykke coins will go up. It is high risk what we're doing. Now, I think we build it in a very sound way, but it is risk. And anyone who's participating in Lykke has to understand what I'm motivated in. My personal motivation is to create an economic system that is sustainable and becomes intensely human. So the company is built as a fragile organization. So if investors get nervous about Lykke, they can sell. There is no shareholder agreement which prevents them from doing so. And the price will go down. That is, however, our strength, in the sense that it forces us to get the act together. So I think we have a lot of work ahead of us and some real fun. Thanks.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, the team. It's a real joy to work with you. And I think for today, we are almost finished. Thank you all our coin holders. We invite you to vote for the Lykke Annual Report 2016. You will very soon today get an email with the link, or you can go to the invest page on our website. There will be a special button for voting there as well. The voting will end at 7 p.m. Central European time, June 30, which is tomorrow, and the results will be published when the voting is over on our website. So thank you all very much. Let's continue working.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye all. Have a nice evening.
Bye, guys.
Bye.